So this is a quick baseline for the Movo mic. This is the iPhone audio. So I'm gonna back up a little bit just so you can kind of hear. And now you kind of have an idea of what we would be getting if I was only using the iPhone audio. Let's continue. Now we are in the weakest noise canceling, so it should avoid some of that tinniness in my voice. I'm not gonna do any editing in post as far as the audio goes, because I want this to be a real live test. So this is the Movo microphone. It's a USB-C microphone. It's connected to the side of the iPhone, and it's right here on my chest. I have a Hollyland Lark Mark II magnet just sitting right underneath my chest, and the thing is magnetic. I would recommend holding the mic somewhere around here pretty much all the time. You can kind of see exactly what they've got on the back. They have a nice little clip right here if you want to. They don't come with magnets, but that's fine. And then we have the actual case right here. Now I'm out at the beach because I wanted to show you the wind reduction on this microphone compared to the iPhone and give you some ideas here. So you can see inside of the case is we've got one more mic, and then the USB thing sits right there, and then obviously the other mic which I have on me right here. Now I have the weakest noise reduction turned on right now, and if you want to change the noise reduction, what you have to do is press the button on the actual receiver that is on the iPhone. So I'm going to press this button one time, and it's going to switch over to the second level of noise reduction. I'm going to go ahead and back up to right here just so you can kind of hear the difference for the iPhone and the audio. If I was a little bit further away, this is what you could expect. I don't think most people are going to need to film much further away than this. I'm about 8 feet away from the camera. I could back up just a little bit more. Now we're maybe like 10, 15 feet away, and hopefully the audio is still good. Now that is the second level of noise canceling. If I bring this guy back in and we press this again, it's gonna go 1, 2, 3. It blinks 3 times into green mode to let me know that we are now at the highest level of noise canceling. I'm gonna put it right back on my chest just so you can kind of hear how that sounds, and then we'll walk over to maybe this side, turn around so you can hear the wind noise coming off the beach. So kind of like a decent test environment, honestly, if you're someone that's trying to figure out if this audio is going to be good for you. 15 feet away from the car, or the phone mounted on the car, I think is reasonable for most people doing any sort of video. You're not going to regularly be much further than that. We can obviously do range tests in a second here, but I think that the best way to use this is going to be to hold it something, right around here like this. And then if you wanted to, I could just clip this right here on my shirt. It takes 2 seconds, and I don't have to have the magnet. It's just clipped right there. These things are tiny, so it's really easy to just kind of maneuver them around. I'm going to go back to the lowest level of noise canceling just by pressing the button on the bottom of the receiver one time. Now we are in the weakest noise canceling, so it should avoid some of that tinniness in my voice. I'm not going to do any editing in post as far as the audio goes, because I want this to be a real live test. Battery life is comparable. You can look up all the specs if you want to. I haven't fully tested that, but it's certainly nothing to just drop it on the receiver. It's definitely going to last you a day's worth of recording and filming, unless you're like going for 24 hours. Obviously, that's not going to work. But I've had no issues with the battery life and things like that in my own tests. And if we back up to here, you can kind of hear the difference. I'm actually going to go ahead and wrap around the car. So we're going to walk behind the camera and see if it cuts out at any point. So I am currently on the other side of my car. The phone is facing, towards the beach, and I'm walking around it. We're going to get some nice wind directional changes here, and hopefully something interesting for you guys to experience. Obviously, we have a nice beach day going on, so that's pretty fun. And that should give you an idea of the mic right here on my chest. Now what I'm going to do is hold it just right here and walk around so you can hear the difference for those of you that are trying to figure this out. 2 of my favorite things about this microphone are the size of the transmitter and the size of the receiver. They are absolutely tiny. Plus the case is actually closer to the size of like the AirPods Pro. It's not quite as beefy or chunky as some of the other cases you'll see out there. It's a little bit more discreet, so I like that. It's also a pretty simple plug and play system, and that's been pretty nice as well. So that was a walk around the car. Now what we're going to do is switch out of noise reduction mode. Now you can do this by just tapping the button on the side of the receiver. So I'm going to press this little button, the light will go blue, and now we have noise reduction turned off. So I'm going to walk around the car one more time just to give you guys a nice audio of that experience, and hopefully the shifting wind will be there as well. So I'll keep talking. I'm still holding the mic, pretty close to my my face here, just kind of in that same area, and overall there should be some decent wind noise coming through because there is not a dead cat on this. We have a little mic muff, but no real dead cat in this whole package. So this is where we stand with the microphone and the beach and everything like that. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I like helping people with these kinds of things. Movo was kind enough to send this to me. I wasn't paid or anything to make the video. I do my best to make my content more of a kind of like an experiential sort of thing. So I'm not like smashing a product. I'm not raving about a product for the most part. I try and just like, this is how it went, and so you can make your own decision. I'm gonna go ahead and turn noise reduction back on as we finish this video, and hopefully everything will be solid. So that's kind of it. And again, my final thoughts here, I'm gonna put right after this and show you kind of like the size of the receiver as I put everything away. So here we go. So we are back to the iPhone audio, and this is the size of the receiver. You can see how tiny that thing is. It is directional when you put it in, so you kind of have to face it this way and it will magnetically go in. If it is not facing that way, then the magnet actually doesn't work. Like if I spin this around, it'll sit in there, but it won't magnetically pop in. And that's just something for you to know. And then obviously this guy just drops right in and you're good to go. And I really love how small this little case is. It is tiny. I hope you've been able to hear me on this. If I didn't have the mic on and I had backed up to here, you can kind of hear how quickly the audio goes away. You basically lose me to the entire world around it. So I do think that little microphones like this are a great investment for someone that is getting into content creation. If you're trying to elevate your game, one of the easiest ways to do that is to get better audio. And this is a simple solution, a very affordable, $49-ish, somewhere in there. Depends on how much you get it on sale or anything like that, but great little microphone from Movo. And it's good for content creators. So let's rise with the tide, and I'll see you on the flip side.